What's up, guys? Today we're going to be going over every NFL division and just summing them up in just a couple sentences. So let's get started. We're going to start in the NFC with the NFC West. When you look at the NFC West, it looks like this season, just like last season, it's going to be a very mid-division with the Niners, Seahawks being right in the middle of the pack, Cardinals being at the bottom, and the Rams being at the top of this division. And it's just honestly an average NFL division and what it would normally look like. You got the top team, middle teams, and that one bottom team. Next up, I want to talk about the NFC East, which I would say is the most underrated division in the NFL right now. In the NFC East, when you have all these teams like the Eagles and the Commanders, who are just top teams in the NFC right now, and then you have the Cowboys, who had a little bit of a down year last year, but when Dak was injured, I just think they're gonna have a good bounce back season this year. And these top three teams, other than the Giants in the NFC East, could definitely make some noise this year. So I am looking forward to watching this division. Honestly, I think it's gonna be extremely competitive and one of the best divisions in the NFL again. Also, just the star power in this division. You got the Eagles receivers AJ Brown, Devontae Smith, Scary Terry, and Deebo Samuel on the Commanders, and then CeeDee Lamb and George Pickens on the Cowboys. The receiving is in this, and then Malik Neighbors on the Giants. It's just kind of crazy how great the receiving core is in this division. Next up, one of the more overrated divisions in the NFL, but still a great division, is the NFC North. Now, last year we saw the Lions at the top of the NFC North, the Vikings second, and the Packers third, and then the Bears kind of fell behind at fourth. But I do think the Bears have a good season this year. Might not be record-wise, but I think the team playing together is going to look a lot better. The Packers, I think they're going to have a down year this season, along with popular opinion that the Packers might just fall off just a little bit, maybe just not make the playoffs, and that's fine. And then you got the Vikings and the Lions. I have the Lions making the playoffs. And I had them as the only team. I think I might have the Vikings also making it, but lower seed. But I do have the Lions being very dominant this season again, but with less injuries and making a playoff run. Now, our final team in the NFC, the NFC South. And this division isn't really good, honestly. I think the Bucks, obviously, I'm not no bias at all here. The Bucks are going to win the division this year. Go 12-5, something like that. And then all the other teams, I don't have any of them making it past .500. I mean, maybe the Falcons at like 9-8, but I just don't see the Panthers doing it yet. Maybe like 7-10, 6-11 for them, and the Saints at like 1-16 or something really bad. I just don't see them doing anything at all this year. But yeah, the NFC South is just not the best division, but I don't think it's the worst either. Because moving on to the AFC, which I think it has the worst division, which is the AFC South. Now, the AFC South, it's just not like the teams, the Titans, the Jaguars, and the Colts. When I think of those three teams, I think of just really mid or bad seasons. I don't see like 10-7. I just see, so I have all three of them going 7-10 this year. I think I have the Titans maybe going 6-11, but which isn't the worst record, but it's not good. Like I just don't see these teams making a bunch of noise because I don't see any star power on these teams. Meanwhile, the Texans, I don't see them. I don't think they're that great either. I think they play in any other division, they're not winning it this year. But since they play in the AFC South, I have them going 10-7, and obviously making the playoffs again. Let's move on to the AFC East, which is a very interesting division too. Very dominated by one team, obviously the Bills. But I think it's going to look a lot different this season. I think I have the Bills at first still, obviously. But then you got the Patriots there, and they're going to be second. Jets or Dolphins, they share that last bottom spot. Now, I think that the Bills are going to dominate. They're going to win so many games this season, 15-2, 14-3, 13-4, somewhere around there. Then you got the Patriots. I have them at like 9-8 or 8-9, somewhere in that vicinity. May not make the playoffs, but being very close to it, setting themselves up for success in the future. And then also, but the Dolphins and the Jets, I just don't see anything from them. Especially the Dolphins. I really just don't see a future for this team. And I think they should just rebuild if this season doesn't go well. Now time for another division that has been dominated by one team for a very long time, which is the AFC West with the Chiefs, Broncos, Chargers, and Raiders. Alright, so I have the Raiders very bottom of this division, like 5-12. Maybe if they played another division like the AFC South, something could be possible for them. The offense can be fun to watch though, especially with Brock Bowers and Ashton Jeanty now. If they can keep building up the offense throughout the years, maybe we could see something from them. But I do like their offseason a lot, and that's one thing I'll give them. But I just don't see them being too good, especially with Geno Smith. I just don't know if he's the right guy for their team. And then in that division, you also have the Chargers, who I think are extremely overrated, and I don't think that they're going to make the playoffs this year. 7-10, 8-9 type season for them. Then the Broncos. This team was underrated, But now they're going to like over it because I don't think they win the division this year. I don't think they win the division this year. And there's a lot of people who are saying Broncos win the division. Oh, Chiefs are second. I just don't see that happening. I think the Chiefs are the better team, and the Chiefs are going to be first in the division once again, and the Broncos take a close second. I think both teams managed around 12-5, 11-6, but still. In our final division for this video, AFC North, one of the divisions who was super stacked, and now they're going back down. They're not really as great anymore, but they're still a good division. So at number 1 this year, I think it's going to be the Baltimore Ravens. Number 2, probably the Bengals. Number 3, the Steelers. And then obviously last is the Browns. Those top 3 teams all can make some noise in this season. It just depends, especially with the Steelers and the Bengals. I know the Ravens are going to be dominant, but the Steelers and Bengals, we just don't know because the Steelers have been barely making the playoffs and the Bengals have been barely missing the playoffs recently. And I don't know about that trend. Maybe it'll keep going. Maybe it'll stop. We'll see. Both made some moves on. The Steelers made a lot more moves, but both made some moves in this offseason that could hurt or help the team. And yeah, so that's all for this video. Comment down below what you think the best division is, what the worst division is, what the most fun to watch divisions are, and let me know down in the comments. I'll see you guys in the next video. Bye.